The definition of an earthquake is an aggressive quake on the ground caused from movements of Earth's tectonic plates and volcanic action that usually causes varying amount of damage depending on its magnitude. Some symptoms of earthquakes are weather and animals. A few minutes prior to the earthquake, animals can get unstable and sometimes more violent. The weather gets warm and still. There are many different consequences from earthquakes. Humans can have impacts both physically and mentally, such as injuries and trauma. There can be economic impacts due to destruction of companies, fields, and loss of money, along with environmental impacts from damage of landscapes and ground. Some after effects are tsunamis and gas pipe explosions that can cause fire, and lastly, it will have a major impact on tourism because damage in an area due to natural disasters will naturally deter all tourists from visiting as it seems dangerous.
When earthquakes occur, almost all the time they will occur where tectonic plates meet. This is because there's friction and impact in these areas as movements will definitely cause the tectonic plates to move into each other. They also move away from and alongside each other. Depending on the movement between each tectonic plate, different results will occur. When tectonic plates slide alongside each other, it is known as a transform plate boundary. The tectonic plates will grind past each other. This happens between many plates, but eventually this constant process of grinding will result in some parts of the plate getting stuck between each other, while parts of the moving plates get stuck or even a bit sticky. The movement between the plates will slow down greatly and in many cases stop moving. Although they're not moving, the plates are still moving against each other. This means that lots of energy and pressure is being stored in this point of friction, and eventually rock will break and all the built-up energy will be released up in different forms. The underground area in which the built-up pressure gets released is called the hypercenter. Meanwhile, the area on ground level where pressure is released is called the epicenter. When energy is released, it comes in two phases, primary and secondary. The primary release comes out as a sudden jolt and lasts no longer than 120 milliseconds. Meanwhile, the secondary wave of energy releases is a duration of time in which twisting, side-to-side movements will occur within a radius of the epicenter.
Earthquakes mostly occur around the edge of the tectonic plate, where two plates push against each other or slide past each other. 90% of the earthquakes that occur around the world happen around the Ring of Fire. The reason why this happened is because the area lay on the edge of the Pacific tectonic plate. As you know, the Pacific tectonic plate is the biggest tectonic plate in the whole world. The common plate movement around these areas that create earthquake is a process when oceanic plate and continental plate converge, and then oceanic plate will go beneath continental plate, and soon the pressure will be released, which will create earthquake. The process that produces earthquake around the fault line is when the crack inside the plate move into different direction. The biggest fault line is San Andreas Fault in California. Basic earthquake procedure while indoor. The first thing you will need to do is to go under a steady table or any furniture. Hold on to the furniture or table tightly until a shaking stop. After that, you will have to evacuate from the earthquake area. If you cannot find any furniture to stay under, you will need to tuck your head into your knee and use your arm to cover your head. You will also need to evacuate when the earthquake stops shaking. Emergency procedure for outdoor. Avoid standing close to any building, tree, utility wires, etc. And then bend down and change into a fetal position. Then cross your arm on your neck to reduce less damage on your head and neck. Lastly, close your eye. This will reduce the risk and chance of you being hit and injured by earthquake and its after effects.
To USGS, there are two ways to measure an earthquake. The first way is to use the Richter magnitude scale, which was developed in 1935 by Charles F. Richter of the California Institute of Technology as a device to compare the seismic earthquakes. The Richter magnitude scale measures the strength of earthquake accordingly, using the units known as magnitude, which rates the strength of earthquake from 1 to 10. For the Richter scale, each level of magnitude is 10 times stronger than the previous. For example, an earthquake that measures 5 on the scale is 10 times stronger than an earthquake which measures 4. An earthquake that measures 9 is 100 times stronger than an earthquake which measures 7.